time in an autumn world, sweetly standing falling leaves, bringing joy to barren trees.
I want to make sure that one of the most close, important people in Skip's heyday was his buddy, David Teegarden. David flew in all the way from Tulsa, Oklahoma with his son just to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, please, warmest of welcome from Mr. David Teegarden.
Any questions? I'm just honored to be here, and I miss Skip, as we all do. Yeah, I'm a drummer, and I know there are many bass players that considered suicide after seeing him play. And it was interesting, it was brought up a while ago that he used his feet to do the bass lines, not knowing that all the B3, famous B3 players didn't do that. But he didn't know, he thought, you gotta play the bass line. So he did that and left them all in the dirt, the bass players. We had an interesting start at a VFW club back in Tulsa, when I think I was 15, he was 16. We met, he was playing in a band. Being underage in Oklahoma, the liquor laws were, well, you're not supposed to serve liquor. So everybody brought it in their back pocket and they'd buy 7-Up and whatever. So it was still legal for you to be in the club underage. We played a lot of clubs together, and I moved out to California and the invitation of Leon Russell, who had a recording studio in his house. I invited Skip, quit one of his road gigs he was on, and he moved in with us at Leon's, and J.J. Cale was coming into the studio every day at Leon's, and I was kind of working as an underling, learning the trade from J.J. Cale. And Cale said, hey, you guys want to record? Yeah, sure we do. So we cut a record, an A-side and a B-side. And Cale said at that time, he said, you guys ought to just do a duo. We were always looking for a singer because neither one of us wanted to have to sing. But we did book some gigs with just the two of us. Thought, hey, that's kind of cool. Well, I think we can do this. And we kind of split up for a while, and I moved back to Tulsa. And Skip came back after a while. He got some other gigs, road gigs, and then he came back and we started a group up, playing in a club, and our manager, the guy that turned out to be our manager, happened to come through town. He was just freaking out. We'd take breaks and he'd just come around, oh, you guys got to come to Detroit. I'm from Detroit. So we traded phone numbers, and the guy called me about 3 days later and he says, I'm back in Detroit, come on. And so I kept telling Skip, I said, we got to go because nothing's going to happen in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So much to Skip's chagrin, we packed up the truck and went to Detroit, and Jim Castley became our manager, and he cooked up a scheme. He said, well, because Skip had that draw that was even uncommon to some of the Tulsa people, he said, it's kind of like Festus or Van Winkle. That's what we'll call him. Let's call him Van Winkle. And unbeknownst to any kind of marketing person, that was Teegarden and Van Winkle. You couldn't even fit it on a marquee. all the way to spelling it, we of course saw all those strange spellings of our name. But anyway, we went to Detroit, and he did his best, Cashley did, to promote us and kind of brand us in a way, and we got kind of big. Then we had a hit record. But there's a lot of things happened between then and then. But, anyway, and then because of that, we became close friends with Bob Seger. And Bob enjoyed our deal, and he kind of joined up with us. And then, I don't know, it was the rest is history. But I'll never forget all the great musical experiences that we experienced together as a group. Only when there's two of us, it's unbelievable. So I won't keep this going that much longer, but just to say that I miss him terribly, and I know Tracy and Cody do as well. All of us do. Anyone that knew him he was their best friend, and he was the best friend to all of us as well. I thank you, and I'm honored to be here.
I think I got a couple more people that I would like to see come up.
I'm ready, baby.
I've known Jimmy.
Stepchild, give me that microphone.
Here's one.
All right. That's right. I'm the evil stepchild, Roban Poirier. See the shoes? Drummer's shoes. Yeah. Okay, the first time I saw Mr. Van Winkle was at Rick Ryder's 60th birthday party. And when I saw that man with those pedals, I was like, oh my God, look at this. Those pedals were just from God. On a good night, Elvis would stand there and bow to that man. Even on a bad. I mean, Frank Sinatra, we're talking, he was a god. And I saw and I knew it. So when he finished, I went up to that man and I said, can I please buy you a drink? He goes, yeah, but I like a pitcher. So I bought him a pitcher of beer to my little vodka. And I gave it to him and he looked at me and he goes, what side are you? I said, cancer. He goes, yeah, okay. I go, what are you? He goes, Libra. I go, well, that works. I go, we're not going to start no wars together. And he's like, yeah. He goes, what do you play? I go, drums. And he goes, yeah. He goes, 4 feet away on the right. I'm like, 4 feet away on the right? 4 feet away on the right, baby. So the first time we played, I'm not kidding you, it was fucking awesome. He loved good drummers. He did not love me. I love him. He did not love me. He loved the kid. Now, of course, whenever I get gigs, it was always, as long as the kid can warm up for you. I went, all right, okay, that's okay. And the kid is a freaking, not a good drummer. He's a great drummer. He got broken in by some of the best guys that ever played the tubs. And Skip had a lot of good drummers. He loved a guy named Larry Zack. And Larry Zack is an excellent drummer. But I had to go see Larry Zack for myself to see, because he did not like me. And I mean, he even used to tell people, he could have been good. I'm not kidding you. He could have been a good drummer. But the only time he liked me was when I practiced. He'd tell me when I get gigs, I got a gig on so-and-so. Are you available? Yeah, I'm available. Make sure you practice. And it's not like my chops were bad, but he wanted better than good. He wanted the kid good. Those kids good. And the kids are good. All right. Anyway, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Man with God.
I have 2 more, I believe, right, Chuck? I'm going to ask Mr. Jimmy Powers and Mr. Michael Fell to come up and share a couple of stories. And then we're going to move on with the rest of the program. Jimmy Powers, harmonica player, worked with Skip for years down at the Universal Bar and Grill all down in Burbank.
Oh yeah.
That's harmonica.
And a bunch of other places. He also played with my brother Catfish Hodge. He also played with the Hodge brothers. He's also played with a gazillion other people around. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jimmy Powers.
Good evening. Wow. Skip would be impressed. This is a great turnout. You know, I love Skip. Took him a while to come around to liking me. I don't know, maybe it's because I had a bad stroll. I can't figure that one out yet. The jury's still out on all that. But man, I really love Skip. One time, I gotta tell you, Skip gave me the greatest compliment anybody could ever give me. And so I was having a particularly good set with him. He looks at me and he says, "Damn it, Jimmy. Every time I try to hate you, you play too damn good." Yeah. And that's the Skip I knew and loved. And Tracy, Cody, I'm so sorry. My prayers are with you all. I hope all is well. I'm just amazed at this wonderful turnout. Skip had so many friends, you know, and another thing, you know, when I first met Skip and I watched him in action, doing two jobs, playing keyboards and kicking bass pedals, the only guy I saw do it with 2 feet, you know, he was amazing, you know, and I said, "Skip, how the heck do you do it? What's your secret?" Just, "Well, Jimmy, I can sum it up in one word." "Really? What's that?" And he says, "Discipline." And man, I love Skip. He taught me a lot just about life and just his professionalism, especially when the bass pedals weren't breaking down. You know? But then that was a signal for me to do a harp solo. So what I do, like Red River Valley for 20 minutes? I don't know. But God, I love Skip, and I'm so glad to see you all here. And Tracy, God bless you, and my heart goes out to you. And Cody, and thank you all.
How about a hand for Jimmy Powers? I feel like I should say, my name's Mike, I'm an alcoholic. So I used to play with Jimmy Smith, the organist. So Jimmy used to always want to go down to the ghetto and hang out all night. After a while, I started sitting in with the Hodge brothers over at the Little Pittsburgh Southwest Club. Remember that place? Hell's Angel Biker Bar, just where I should take Jimmy Smith to. So one night, Jimmy, you know, he always wanted to go down to the ghetto, and I'm just burning out and driving down there because we ended up over at Ike Turner's house until like 10 in the morning. I'm like, oh, God. I go, you know what? I got a guy right here in the valley, plays Henry B3. He'll set you up, he'll hook you up, and he loves you. So I take Jimmy down to the back of the parking lot over there at the Little Pittsburgh Southwest Club, and I go, stay here in the car, goddammit. And I walk into the club, and I grab Skip, I go, hey Skip, I got Jimmy Smith out here in the car for you to meet you. And Skip just looks at me for like 5 minutes, he goes, grabs his goatee, you know, because he always had to grab his goatee, and he goes, you know, I always liked Groove Holmes a lot better. I go, no, he's in the car. I want to introduce him to you. I know, but I just like Groove Holmes a lot better. And then one night, I'm playing with Jimmy down at Marla's Memory Lane, down there in Marla Gibbs Club over there on Martin Luther King. And I walk into the club, and there's Skip sitting there. And I was like, cool, what are you doing here? And all the Muslims were at the bar, you know, in their 3-piece suits, you know, and their little bowler hats. And Skip's looking like he's just, you know, way out of place down there. So I'm playing, Skip gets up and walks to the bathroom, and I'm walking off, watching all the Muslims. They're all like walking by, I go, what the hell is that? You know? Skip comes out, and I was like, man, I was watching you, man. I thought they were going to, you know, make sure you're okay. And he goes, oh, they're just pissed because I got a bigger hat than them. And then, but the night that I brought Jimmy down to the Hodge brothers, see the Hodge brothers, Skip's up there playing away, and I got a picture of it somewhere. I should have brought it. But Skip's playing away, and Jimmy Smith comes up behind him and starts playing right hand. Just Skip, you can hear Skip screaming across the club, "God damn it, Jimmy, slow it down!" And another night down there at the Lighthouse, I thought was hysterical. Dallas and Catfish are up there playing. Skip's playing B3. We're burning. We're all having a ball. And then Dallas and Catfish were taking up all the light. And in between songs, all of a sudden you hear Skip go, "Can you fellas spread apart? I need some light back here." So anyway, that's all my Skip stories. I got a bunch more, but I just had to tell those. I'll be here all week.
Spending my time hurt and feeling bad, knowing what it is that you have over my head is the reason why if I don't do right you'll leave. But I have come to feel it has been too long. The fear of doing wrong today is here to stay. And if you go your way, don't forget to say goodbye. A new day's here, and I don't care. You go on your way. Bye. Goodbye. So long. We'll see you in church. Don't let the door hit you. Where? Goodbye. Keep your cigarettes and glasses below the window. Won't nobody hassle you. Keep a light burning. Hey, Skip. Hey, what, David? Hay's for horses, son. Goodbye. Don't hate me. Goodbye. Goodbye. Yeah, foot by. Goodbye. 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 Better get yourself out of here. I'll whoop you. Goodbye. Let go of my arm. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.